the internet wasn't ready. What started as a quiet rumor bubbling beneath the surface of Hollywood drama just exploded. Live, raw, and completely unfiltered. Ray J, known for keeping it smooth and low-key despite years of public chaos, did something no one saw coming. He went live. And not just live to vent or post a vague caption. He went live to confront Amara La Negra directly. Face-to-face, on screen, no managers, no filters, no edits. The tension? Electric. Amara, always composed and radiant, appeared caught off guard. Viewers watched in real time as the energy shifted. What began as a casual conversation spiraled into a showdown filled with accusations, denials, exposed DMs, and one cryptic voice note that left fans with their jaws on the floor. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, they did! Amara fired back, calling out not just Ray J, but someone no one expected. Someone very close to his inner circle. What followed next had fans screaming, timelines melting, and everyone asking, is this the real story behind the cheating rumors, or is there a deeper game being played? Either way, what you're about to hear changes everything. So sit tight. This isn't just gossip. This is reality. Unfolding live, it was supposed to be a regular Tuesday night. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just another wave of trending memes and passive-aggressive stories posted by influencers pretending everything was fine. But then it happened. Ray J went live. No promo, no warning, just a notification that popped up for millions of followers. And when people clicked, they were not prepared for what they were about to witness. At first, it looked like any other celebrity live. A dim room, Ray J sitting at the edge of a couch, hoodie halfway off, staring into the camera with a look that screamed frustration. People flooded in. Within minutes, over 30,000 viewers were locked in. And then, without saying a word, he hit the button to add a guest. Her name flashed on the screen. Amara La Negra. And that's when things went left. Amara popped onto the live looking flawless, as always. Hair laid, lashes on point, lips glossed just enough to shine without. Trying too hard. But her eyes, they weren't smiling. There was tension, heat, something unspoken hanging in the air between them. "So, we doing this?" she asked, folding her arms. Ray J didn't even blink. "You tell me." And just like that, the war began. The comments exploded. Fans were typing in all caps, begging for context. What happened? Weren't they just spotted together in Miami last week, looking cozy? Was this about the cheating rumors that had been quietly circulating online for days? Ray J leaned back and let the silence stretch before finally speaking. "You know what? You said, Amara, don't act brand new now. You told me I was the only one." Amara laughed, but it wasn't her usual laugh. It was sharp, defensive, and bitter. "The only one? Are we really doing this on live? After everything you've done? After all those nights you disappeared with no explanation and I stayed quiet?" Ray J cut in, voice tight. "Nah, see, this the problem. You always flipping it. I came on here to get the truth out. Because I'm tired of the backdoor whispers, the DMs getting leaked, people sending me screenshots talking about you and some dude from New York." Amara's face changed. Her mouth tightened. Her jaw shifted like she was biting back something nuclear. "You want to talk about DMs?" she said slowly. "Should I pull up the messages from your stylist? The ones where she told me to stay calm because you were figuring things out?" "Figuring what out, Ray?" The chat went crazy. People were typing OMG and not, the stylist, and this is wild over and over. This wasn't a regular breakup argument. This was real-time warfare, and no one was safe. Ray J looked like he'd been slapped. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he pulled out his phone. "You want to talk receipts?" he asked. "Fine, let's talk receipts." He held the phone up to the camera, opening a text thread. It was from Amara. The screen was blurry, but you could just make out the message. "I only lied because I didn't want to lose you. I was scared." Gasps filled the live. Even Amara looked rattled. She took a deep breath, eyes darting to the side like she was weighing her next move carefully. "That was taken out of context," she said quietly. "You know why I said that? We weren't even together when that happened. We were in that weird in-between space where you still hadn't left your situation." Ray laughed bitterly. "Here we go. Back to that." Amara's eyes flashed. "Don't play dumb, Ray. Everyone knows about you and Princess. Just because y'all didn't post each other for 2 months doesn't mean you were single. That one hit deep. The chat lost its mind. Fans were stunned. Princess Love had been quiet lately, but now her name was being thrown into the fire. And not gently. Ray leaned forward, voice dropping lower. Me and Princess were done. We just didn't announce it. You knew that. And if you thought we weren't, why'd you come to my room that night in Atlanta? Amara froze. There it was. The bombshell. No one had mentioned Atlanta before. Not the blogs, not the gossip pages, not even the trolls. But now it was out there. And judging by the way Amara's face changed, it wasn't supposed to be. You really just said that, she whispered, more to herself than to him. Ray's tone hardened. I did. Because I'm done playing the nice guy. I'm done taking all the heat while you walk around acting innocent. The truth is, you told me you loved me. And then 3 days later, you were spotted at that rooftop party with dude from Revolt. Amara's voice shook as she answered. You mean the same rooftop party you told me to pull up to? The one where you left early and never came back because you were too busy closing deals? Ray's eyes narrowed. You know what? Maybe I should have let this slide. Maybe I should have stayed quiet like I always do. But this time, the disrespect was too loud. Amara blinked fast. Her walls were starting to crack. You humiliated me, she said. I let my guard down. I told you things I've never told anyone. And you turned around and made me feel like I was just another name on your list. There was a pause. A long, heavy pause. Then Ray said, You weren't just another name. Amara looked surprised. He didn't sound angry anymore. He sounded tired. Real tired. Then why'd you treat me like I didn't matter? She asked, voice trembling. Before he could respond, the live froze for half a second. And then, boom, a third window opened. Someone else was joining the live. A familiar face. Long lashes, glossy lips, piercing stare. It was Princess Love. And she didn't look happy. The comments exploded into pure chaos. The screen split again. The chat stopped for a second, like the audience collectively held their breath. And there she was. Princess Love. Hair tied back, no makeup, wearing what looked like a bathrobe and a look of pure disbelief. I know y'all didn't think this was gonna happen without me, she said, dead serious. Amara's face went blank. Ray J leaned back, clearly not expecting this either. What are you doing here? He asked, his voice suddenly a lot softer. Princess tilted her head. Oh, so now you ask me questions? After you dragged me into this live like I wasn't gonna find out? Amara spoke up, arms crossed. Nobody dragged you. Your name came up because the timeline matters. I wasn't about to sit here and let him act like he was single when he was still answering your calls at 3 a.m. Princess rolled her eyes. Sweetheart, he's been answering my calls since 2012. That ain't new. The crowd in the live went wild. The comments were flying and people couldn't keep up. Some were laughing, others were in pure shock. The messy just became messier. Ray tried to regain control. Can we not do this on live? I came here to clear things up with Amara, not start another war. Princess laughed. Too late. Amara looked over to the corner of her screen, clearly debating whether to stay or end it. But then she made a decision that no one saw coming. You know what? She said, voice calm. Let's go ahead and clear the air since we're all here. Ray raised an eyebrow. You serious? Amara nodded. If I'm gonna be painted as the bad guy, I might as well speak my truth too. Princess narrowed her eyes. Oh, now you want to speak truth? Amara ignored her. I told Ray from the beginning. I don't share. I'm not a placeholder. And if you were still dealing with your situation, I wasn't going to get caught in that mess. But he kept telling me it was over. That you were done. Princess turned to Ray. Did you say that? Ray didn't respond right away. His silence said everything. Wow, Princess muttered. So you lied to both of us. Ray rubbed his face. I didn't lie. I just wasn't ready to deal with everything all at once. Amara's voice was cold now. And so you let us deal with it instead. Then, just when things couldn't get more tense, Princess pulled out her phone. You remember this? She asked, holding the screen up to the camera. It was a screenshot, a message from Ray, dated just 2 weeks ago. It read, Still thinking about you. I wish things were different. Amara stared at it. 2 weeks ago?" she asked. Princess nodded. "While you were in Miami with her?" Ray sat back, completely cornered. "You said that while you were with me?" Amara said quietly. He nodded slowly. "I know." Princess shook her head. "You know what? I'm done." And just like that, she left the live. The screen returned to 2 windows. The energy had shifted completely. The chat was going wild, but Ray and Amara were silent. Finally, Amara spoke. "You embarrassed me." Ray looked up. "Amara, no." She cut him off. "I showed up for you. When people told me you were still playing games, I defended you. When blogs dragged my name into something messy, I stayed quiet. And for what? So you could tell her the same things you were telling me." Ray looked down at his hands. The man who started the live ready to clear his name now looked like someone who realized he didn't have one left to protect. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he said. "I swear to God I didn't." Amara blinked fast. She was holding it together, but just barely. "You already did." Then, in a moment of unexpected vulnerability, she whispered, "I actually cared." The chat slowed down. Even the trolls paused. Because that was real. Ray looked up. His eyes weren't defensive anymore. They were tired, regretful. "I know," he said. The silence between them was heavier than all the shouting that came before. Then Ray did something no one expected. He ended the live. Just like that, the screen went black. No goodbye, no outro, just a sudden, jarring end. People immediately took to Twitter. Hashtags exploded. Clips of the live were already being reposted. Fans were taking sides, arguing over who was right, who was wrong, and who deserved better. But before anyone could breathe, another post popped up, this time from Amara. It was a single story, a black screen with white text. This is why I don't trust easily, because the ones who swear they're different usually hurt the worst. The internet exploded again. And that's when the DMs started leaking. It had barely been 10 minutes since the live ended, and already the internet was on fire. Fan accounts were posting screen recordings, reaction channels were uploading instant breakdowns, and gossip blogs had already published headlines like "Ray J humiliated live by Amara," and "Princess Love and Amara La Negra breaks down after messy confrontation." But amid all the noise, something different started happening. A small Instagram page, private at first, began leaking screenshots. At first, people thought it was just more recycled gossip, but then someone zoomed in and noticed the usernames. It was Ray J's, and the messages weren't just texts. They were voice notes, real, raw, and dated. The first one played with shaky audio. "I'm not trying to make it messy, I just need to figure out where my heart is at. Just don't say anything." Yet, the second voice note was more intense. "I don't want this going public. If people find out I've been talking to both of you, it's gonna ruin everything." The reactions were instant. Fans who had been defending Ray started to turn on him. The phrase "talking to both of you" made it clear. Whatever excuse he had for what happened on live, these voice notes told a different story. And then came the third message. In it, Ray said, "Princess already suspects. She's been checking my location. I can't keep lying." Boom! The internet went into meltdown mode. Amara hadn't said anything yet. Her story from earlier was still the only thing on her page. But now that voice notes were leaking, people were dying to hear her side. And then she dropped a bomb of her own, a Twitter thread. 7 posts in a row, no tagging, no names. But if you'd watched the live, you knew exactly who she was talking about. First tweet, "They always act confused when the truth comes out. Like, you didn't know exactly what you were doing?" Second tweet, "Stop telling multiple women they're the only one just to keep them around. It's manipulative. It's dangerous." Third tweet, "And to the one watching this thinking, she was the main one? You weren't." The last tweet, it just said, "Miami, Atlanta, Vegas. All of it. I have the receipts." That line changed everything. Fans immediately started asking, what happened in Vegas? Because until now, only Miami. And Atlanta had been mentioned. Vegas was a new twist. And apparently, it was the key to Amara's silence. Then, as if on cue, Princess Love returned to Instagram with her own surprise. She posted a boomerang of herself with the caption, "Sometimes silence is louder than the lies." But it didn't. Stop there. The next slide was a screenshot of her call log. Ray J's name was listed at the top with the word "missed" written underneath, 12 times in a row. All from that same night, fans put the pieces together fast. While Ray was going live with Amara, he was blowing up Princess's phone, and she wasn't answering. It was clear now. He had officially lost control of the situation. The next day, Amara appeared on her story again. This time, she didn't speak. She just posted a short screen recording of her photo gallery, scrolling past dozens of videos, pictures, and screen caps. She didn't click any of them. Just let the camera roll for 10 seconds. Enough to let people know. She was sitting on evidence. And then came the message. Y'all want the truth? I'll drop it on my time. Within minutes, Amara was trending. People were begging her to speak. Fans who once doubted her were now cheering her on, saying she had every right to expose the truth however she wanted. Even celebrities started weighing in. A-list reality stars like Erica Mena and Spice both commented on Shade Room's post about the situation. Erica wrote, "Classic example of gaslighting. Been there," Spice said. "Amara too real for this mess. Stand tall, queen." And while Amara's name soared, Ray J's reputation took a major hit. The same man who once charmed his way through the chaos of love and hip-hop was now being painted as the villain in his own story. But what no one saw coming, not the fans, not the blogs, not even Ray himself, was that the Vegas situation, it involved a fourth person, a woman named Jasmine, a backup dancer who'd worked with both Amara and Ray, and she wasn't staying quiet anymore. A blog leaked her name first, but Jasmine wasted no time confirming it herself. She posted a TikTok video with the caption, "Funny how the truth always finds a way out, even when you bury it in the desert." In the video, she didn't say names, but her message was clear. I wasn't trying to be involved in nobody's triangle. But when he told me she was just a business friend, I believed him. And now I'm seeing all this mess online and realizing I was just another piece on his board. She ended the video with one sentence that cracked the whole story wide open. "I was with him in Vegas. The same weekend he was telling both of them he was home alone." Boom. That was the spark. Now there were 3 women involved, all with receipts, all with their own side of the truth, and all realizing they had been played by the same man at the same time. Ray J went silent. No posts, no stories, not even a denial. And that's when fans started turning this entire situation into a movement. The hashtag #YourNeverNotherRage started trending. T-shirts were made, remixes of the voice notes were turned into music. Influencers were doing skits reenacting the live. It had gone from drama to full-on cultural moment. But deep down, the real question still hadn't been answered. What happened? In Vegas? And why was Amara still holding back the full truth? Vegas had always been messy. But now, it had become the epicenter of everything. Amara's cryptic tweets, Princess's call logs, Jasmine's sudden confession. It all pointed to that one weekend in the desert. And finally, after days of silence, Amara decided it was time. No warning, no teaser, just a YouTube video titled "My Truth." 22 minutes long, black and white thumbnail, no makeup, just Amara sitting on a balcony in what looked like a rented house in the hills. Her hair pulled back, eyes locked on the camera. She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She spoke like a woman who had already cried all her tears and now just needed peace. "I wasn't gonna say anything else," she began. "But after the way everything's been twisted, after the lies, after the name-calling, after the silence, I have to speak." She confirmed everything. The live, the texts, the blurred lines. And then she got to Vegas. "We were there for a shoot," she explained. "I had an event. Ray came out just to support, or at least that's what he told me, but the energy was off from the beginning." She said Ray spent most of his time on his phone, disappearing for hours, claiming meetings that never showed up on his calendar. And then one night, she said, he left the suite around 10 p.m. and didn't come back until almost 5 in the morning. "He smelled like cologne that wasn't his," she said quietly, "and he had glitter on his neck." Fans were stunned. But what really blew everyone's mind was what came next. Amara said she had proof, and not just texts or pictures, but video, a small clip filmed on her phone from that same night. She didn't show it in the YouTube video. She said she was still deciding whether to release it, but she described it in detail. "I took it from the balcony," she said. You can see Ray getting out of a black SUV, and Jasmine's in the passenger seat. They're laughing. He walks her to the door, and then they disappear into the hallway together. Boom. Undeniable. Within minutes, clips of her video were everywhere. Fans were begging her to release the footage. Blogs reposted it with headlines like "Amara confirms Vegas betrayal" and "Glitter and lies, what Ray J was really doing." Jasmine responded quickly, posting on TikTok again. This time she looked emotional. No filter, eyes glossy. "I didn't know he was still involved with anyone else," she said. "And if I did, I would have walked away. I thought he was single." Fans flooded her comments, some supporting her, others calling her out. But regardless, one thing was now clear. Vegas was the nail in the coffin. And then, after 3 full days of radio silence, Ray J finally spoke. He posted a video to Instagram. No caption, just a dimly lit room and his voice. "I never claimed to be perfect," he said. "I've made mistakes. Too many, if I'm being honest. And maybe I didn't handle things the way I should have. But I never meant to hurt anybody." He paused. Amara didn't deserve to be dragged into this. Neither did Princess. And Jasmine, "I should have been honest from the start." It was the closest thing to an apology he'd ever made publicly. Fans were torn. Some said it was too little, too late. Others said it was the first real thing he'd done since the drama started. But what no one expected was who showed up in the comments. Princess Love, she dropped a single emoji. Amara reposted it with the words, "Mood." The internet went crazy, and just when it seemed like the story might finally die down, the last twist landed like a grenade. An anonymous insider leaked one more voicemail, this time from early in the relationship. A voice note Ray J left for Amara before they ever went public. His voice was soft, almost nervous. "I don't want anyone knowing yet," he said. "People still think I'm with Princess. But with you, it's different. It feels real." Fans were stunned. It wasn't just cheating, it wasn't just lies. This had started with deception from the beginning, and that's when the real heartbreak began to set in. Amara unfollowed Ray J. Princess deleted every post with his name in it. Jasmine posted a quote that read, "You can't heal in the same place you got hurt." And Ray J, he vanished from social media entirely. It had all come crashing down. 3 women, 1 man, and a web of secrets finally exposed in full. But as fans tried to make sense of what they'd witnessed, there was still one piece missing. Why did Ray J really go live in the first place? Because sources now claimed he wasn't trying to expose anyone. He was trying to get ahead of something else. Turns out the live wasn't about closure. It wasn't about getting answers. It wasn't even about exposing Amara. It was about damage control. Because just hours before Ray J went live, a well-known Hollywood gossip blog had reached out to his management team with a chilling message. They had screenshots, they had timestamps, they had proof that Ray J had been involved with more than just Amara, Princess, and Jasmine. There was a 4th woman, someone from behind the scenes, someone who worked on the same reality TV set as Amara, a producer's assistant. Named Melanie, and Melanie, she wasn't playing games. According to anonymous sources, Melanie had been in communication with a journalist, shopping a tell-all interview that would have named names, leaked footage, and pulled the curtain back on everything Ray J had been hiding. His team begged her not to move forward. They offered an apology, a payoff, even legal threats. But Melanie didn't back down. So Ray J panicked. He went live, not to protect his truth, but to distract from hers. But once the truth came out, it couldn't be stopped. Melanie's interview dropped 2 days later on a podcast with moderate reach. But the content? Explosive, she said. Ray J had promised her exclusivity, told her he was done with Princess, that Amara was a fling, that Jasmine was just someone he met on tour, and that Vegas weekend, she claimed Ray J texted her the same night saying he wished she was the one in the room. The audience was stunned. The host could barely keep it together. So while he was juggling 3 public women, he was privately stringing you along too, the host asked. Melanie nodded. It wasn't love, it was power. He wanted control. Over the narrative, over all of us. The interview exploded online. Even mainstream outlets picked it up. Suddenly, Ray J wasn't just a messy celebrity caught in a love triangle. He was a walking scandal. Amara posted a statement that night. It was simple, powerful, and cold. When people show you who they are, believe them. Princess reposted it, adding, "We believed him too many times." Jasmine posted nothing. She just wiped her entire profile clean and vanished. And Ray J, still silent. His last post remained that dimly lit apology video, collecting comments filled with confusion, anger, and disappointment. But then, just when the world had begun to move on, a blurry paparazzi photo hit the blogs. Ray J alone, looking worn out, sitting outside a restaurant in Los Angeles. Hoodie up, head down, no caption, no smile, no entourage, just a man who had finally run out of excuses. The photo went viral for a different reason. Not because he was trending, not because people wanted more drama, but because fans, even after all the chaos, were still asking one question: was any of it ever real? The live, the love, the moments we thought were genuine. Amara's silence afterward only added to the mystery. She didn't say anything else. No final video, no podcast, no statement. She went quiet. But this time, it felt like power, not retreat. Princess, on the other hand, moved forward. She posted a photo of herself on vacation, standing in front of a waterfall with the caption, "Healing is louder than clout." Then clout, it was over. The lies, the voice notes, the Vegas stories, the receipts, everything had played out. And now, only the consequences remained. No reunion, no wrap-up special, no, "we talked it out," just silence. And in that silence, fans found themselves piecing together the lessons left behind. Never assume someone's truth is the full truth. Never underestimate who's watching quietly in the background. And most of all, just because it looks perfect on camera doesn't mean it's real behind the scenes. Because what happened between Ray J and Amara La Negra wasn't just a scandal, it was a live-streamed collapse. And just like that, the live ended, but the consequences, they're still playing out. What started as a moment of truth turned into a digital storm that nobody could stop. Not Ray J, not Amara, not Princess, not even the fans. You watched it unfold in real time. The confessions, the contradictions, the screenshots, the voice notes, the shady subtweets, and even after all the drama, one question still remains. Who really walked away with the truth? Amara may have spoken her truth, but did she tell the whole truth? Princess might have stood her ground, but was she really done this time? And Ray J, is he hiding something even deeper than what's already been exposed? Because if we've learned anything from this entire story, it's this. Behind every live, every viral moment, every flawless post, there's always more beneath the surface. And sometimes, the people smiling in front of the camera are the ones breaking the most behind the scenes. But now it's your turn. What do you think really happened in Vegas? Was Ray J the villain, or just another confused man in over his head? Did Amara deserve better, or was she playing the game too? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. We're watching. Hit that like button if this story had your jaw on the floor. And if you live for drama, receipts, and reality so messy it has to be real, subscribe now. We've got more heat coming that'll make this one look like a warm-up. Until next time, stay messy, stay tuned, and never forget, some secrets don't leak. They go live.